friends, my pleasure to welcome you to my channel, Let's Say Graphics and Multimedia. My name is Rafi Yakub, and in today's video you are going to learn how to create corporate trifold brochure in Photoshop print ready template. But before we dive into the tutorial, if you are very new to this channel, remember to click on the subscribe, turn on the notification bell so each time I post content about Photoshop you'll be notified. So with that being said, let's dive into the tutorial and see how you can create corporate trifold brochure in Photoshop print template. So let's get started. The first thing you want to do is to go to the home tab right here. You click on file. Make sure you click on new. Then you have to come to the top right here. Right here you have to type in the title of your design, corporate. Then you have to come to the height column. Under the height column you have to type in 11.69. Then you have to come to the height column. So under the height column you have to type in 8.267. Then you make sure your resolution is 300. Then your color mode should be CMYK and the background should be white. Come down below right here and click on create. Boom. So you are going to have something like this. Alright, so the next thing to do is to divide this page into 3. So for you to do that, you have to come to your calculator on your PC. So let me quickly search the calculator. So it's going to be 11.691991 divided by 3 equal to, so we're going to have 3.897. So for us to do that, you just have to, for us to make this division, so we have to go to our toolbar right here. Then we click and hold down. We make sure we select our rectangle. This is a very easy way. Then you just click once in your workspace. This is going to pump up. So what you need to do right here is to type in this figure right here, 3.897 right here, 3.897 inch. Okay, then you come to the height. The height is 8.267 then inch. Okay, 897. Then you have to, from the center, make sure you click on OK. Alright, so the next thing we want to do right here is to go to our home tab right here. We go to select. We make sure we click on all. Then you have to come back to the home, top right here. Make sure you align to the vertical center, align to horizontal center. Then you go back to select. Make sure you click on deselect or you press Ctrl D on your keyboard. So you're going to have something like this. Then we can close this window right here. We don't need it anymore. So this is that. Then the next thing you have to do is to go back to your layer right here. Make sure you click on your background layer. Then we can drag our ruler and make sure it snaps to the shape from the center. Alright, so the next thing we want to do right here is to come to our layer right here. We make a new layer. After we make a new layer, we have to go back to our toolbar right here. We click and hold down. And this time around, we have to choose another rectangle. Then we come to the home tab right here. We make sure that the rectangle shape is checked. We make sure we can change our color right here. Then we come to the artwork and we draw another rectangle as much as possible big. Alright, so next thing we want to do is to rotate this rectangle right here. For us to do that, we have to go to home tab right here. We go to edit. Then from edit, we click on free transform. Then we have to adjust the triangle this way. Okay, that's 47 angle. Then we can take the triangle right here. Once you're satisfied with the adjustment, we have to come to the top right here. We click on this check mark to accept the transform. Next thing we want to do is to make a duplicate of this triangle. We have to right click again and we make sure that we click on duplicate layer. So this can be rectangle 2. Then we have to double click on the rectangle 2 layer thumbnail right here. Having double click on the layer thumbnail, this allows to have a color. Then we can change the color to another color of our choice. So this duplicate one here, we can drag it and take it right here. And we make sure it's snapped to the shape right here. Then the next thing we want to do is to fall back to this particular triangle. Then we right click again and we make another duplicate. So this one right here can be photo triangle, and we click on OK. Then this duplicate one here, we have to drag it here. So once you're satisfied with the adjustment, then we have to come to the photo layer again. We right click on the photo layer. We have to look for duplicate layer again. So this can be adjustment, shape. And we click on OK. So this adjustment shape right here, we can double click on the color layer thumbnail right here just to change the color, so we'll be able to differentiate. We click on OK. So this adjustment right here, we have to take it down here. Next thing we want to do is to locate this particular layer right here, and we'll right click on the layer. We make sure we click on duplicate layer. So this can be rectangle 3, and we click on OK. Now this one right here, we have to take it down below right here. So I have to take it right here. Alright, so next thing we're going to do is to duplicate this particular shape. We have to locate the layer right here. We right click on the layer. Then we make sure we go to duplicate layer. So this can be rectangle 4, and we click on OK. So this rectangle 4 here, we can come to the layer thumbnail. We double click on the layer thumbnail, and we have to change the color, and we click on OK. So this duplicate one right here, we can drag it here. Then we have to locate this particular shape right here. Then next thing we need to do is to go to the home tab right here. We go to select, we click on all. Then we make sure we align this to the left side. Once we align, we go back to select, and we make sure we deselect. So we're going to have it this way. Okay. So we have to locate this particular shape right here, photo image, photo layer. We have to right click on it. We make sure we make a duplicate. This can be color. Then we click on OK. So this one right here, we have to adjust the shape to the top. Then we need to come to the layer right here. We double click on the layer thumbnail right here. So we double click on the layer thumbnail just to change the color, so we'll be able to differentiate. So we can pick this color for now, and we click on OK, so we can differentiate. Then we have to adjust it properly to the top right here. Next thing we want to do is to draw another rectangle. We have to come to the layer right here. We create a new layer. Then having make a new layer, we have to go back to our toolbar right here. We select another rectangle. Then having select another rectangle, we can come to the top right here. We can change the color to dark black, so we'll be able to differentiate. Then I will draw another tiny rectangle right here. So this particular rectangle, I have to rotate it. So I have to go to home tab right here. We go to edit. From edit, we click on free transform. So we have to rotate this and make sure it aligns with the shape, with the rest of the triangle. Then we have to take the shape to the bottom of the photo layer right here. So next thing we need to do is to make a new layer right here. Then having make a new layer, we have to go to our toolbar. This time around, I have to click and hold down. Then we make sure we select pen tools. So having select pen tools, we have to make sure that the shape is checked and the color can be the same color. So right here, I will make another. So you can press Ctrl minus to zoom in, Ctrl minus to zoom in. So we have it this way. Okay. Then I have to locate this photo layer right here. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to make a new layer. Then I will go to my rectangle. I will choose another rectangle again, and I will draw another rectangle right here from the top. Then I'll go to Home tab right here. I'll click on Edit. Then I'll go to Free Transform. Then I have to rotate this also and make sure it aligns to the rest of the rectangle. Then you have to come to the top right here and click on this check mark to accept. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is to change this color a little bit. So I will have to double click on the layer thumbnail right here. Then I will make sure I change the color to something like this, and I'll click on OK. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is to locate this layer and this layer. So we have, that is rectangle 2 and rectangle 2 right here. So we have to locate the two rectangle. This one right here, you can see. So we have to press Ctrl key down and select the second one right here. Then I have to right click. This time around, we have to make sure we match the shape. So having matched the shape, they become one. Okay, so we have to locate the shape right now. So what I'm going to do next is that I'm going to add a stroke width to this particular shape. So for me to do that, I have to go back to my rectangle right here. Then I will have to come to the top right here from the rectangle property. I will make sure I add stroke white color. Then I will have to increase the stroke width from this angle here. Then I have to locate this layer right here. Then I'll go back to my toolbar. I will select my rectangle right here. Having selected my rectangle, I'll come to the color right here, rectangle property. I will make sure I add stroke white color, and I will make sure the width is the same, which is 50. Okay, so I'll make sure I type 50 right here, and I'll press enter key on my keyboard. So we're going to have something like that. Then I have to locate this particular layer also. Then I'll go to my rectangle shape. Then we have to do the same. So right here, we have to repeat the same white color. And the stroke width should be 50, just like every other one. So we have it this way, okay? So we have to locate this layer now. Then we have to return it back to the overlay of the image photo layer right here. So once it's become overlay, what we need to do is to locate this layer this time around. I have to delete this one right here. Then we have to locate this layer. So this layer have to be at the top of the overlay of the other one, which is this one right here. So it has to be at the top right here. So it's going to close this gap right here. It's going to cover everything. So I'm going to press Ctrl plus to zoom out, Ctrl plus to zoom out. So I need to make sure this is properly closed right here. Next thing I'm going to do is to come to the layer panel right here. I will select this rectangle 6. Then I'll create a new layer. I will create a new layer. I will have to go back to my pen tools. I'll click and hold down. I'll make sure I select my pen tools. Then having select my pen tools, I have to draw another shape right here. From the top here, this way, and this way, and this way. And I'll make sure I close the part right here. Okay. So we can match these two shapes together. So for us to do that, we have to press Shift key and select the rectangle 5. Then we right click on our layer. Then we make sure we match shape. So the shape has become one. Okay. Next thing we want to do right here is to bring in the picture to our brochure. So we have to select this photo layer right here. Having selected the photo layer, then we have to go to Home tab right here. We go to File. Then from File, we make sure we click on Place Embedded. Then we have to come to the image thumbnail right here. We right click on the image layer. We make sure we click on create clipping mask. So that is that. So the next thing we want to do now is to add appropriate color to our brochure. We're going to start from this place right here. So we have to come to the layer thumbnail. We double click on the layer thumbnail right here. So you can see the color code I use right here. So I can easily copy the color code. And then I'll click on here to click OK. All right, so I have to locate this layer. Then I'll come to the layer thumbnail. I will double click on the layer thumbnail. Then right here, I'll paste the color code right here, Control A and Control V. So we have the color right here, and I'll click on OK. Then I have to select on this. I have to look for this layer right here, and I will double click on the layer thumbnail. Then I'll copy, I'll paste the color code right here. Then I'll click on OK. I have to locate this layer. Then I will double click on the layer thumbnail. Then I'll come here and Control A, Control V to paste the color code here. And I'll click on OK. Then I have to locate this layer. Then I will click on the layer thumbnail right here. Then I have to change the color from this point here. So you can see the color code I use right here. I'm going to highlight, right click, and I'll copy the color code. Then I'll click on OK. So I have to locate this layer right here. And I will double click on the layer thumbnail. Then Control V to paste. I'll click on OK. I have to locate this layer also. Then I will double click on layer thumbnail. Then right here, I'll paste the color code, Control V to paste. And I'll click on OK. Then I have to locate this particular layer right here. I need to add a blend mode into this particular layer, okay? Then we have to come to the blend mode right here, and we'll make sure we change this to multiply. Go. So you are going to have something like this, okay? Then right here, we have to locate this layer. Then we make sure we adjust this layer and make sure it's snap. So the next thing we can do to this brochure is to head over to our background layer right here. So from the background layer, we can start to enter text and icons in